busy as we all are, and all of the opportunities and challenges we deal with, it's really great to just sit there and absorb that music and to be inspired. So thank you for setting us on this stage of introspection and accomplishment. I feel very fortunate to be here today with all of you, visionary city builders. You're shaping the future of our collective cities around the world, and this is really important. But what is just as important is that all of you are working to shape our profession, and that, in the long run, is what will continue to build visionary cities and resilient cities. Today, perhaps more than ever, we must act very intentionally in terms of how we are building our cities in order to ensure they're inclusive and equitable. It's not just about a big, bold vision in terms of equitable and inclusive cities. It drives innovation. It drives employment, culture, entrepreneurship. It makes our cities resilient, more vibrant. But we must continue to strive to build a city that is by everybody, for everybody. And let's be honest, that isn't always easy. As leaders of our organizations in our cities, it's our responsibility to ensure that we're giving everyone an opportunity to have a voice in the conversation, not just in terms of how it's implemented, but in terms of what is implemented. In order to take our cities to the next level, we need to ensure that we're convening a wide array of groups and people in thoughtful and meaningful ways. We need to convene our neighboring districts, our neighboring cities, our regional partners, minds from the public and private sectors, and then we need to pause, reflect, and think, who haven't we invited to the table? We must think about community groups, big and small, develop plans, strengthen initiatives through their voices. We need to challenge one another as well, professionally, to think about every move we make. It's a big ask, but we must have bold plans, and we must realize that sometimes those bold plans take small steps. It's our responsibility to work with our partners to find innovative solutions that address inclusivity. Whether it's attainable housing or transit-oriented development, we know that access allows for opportunity. To really begin to understand this work and understand what needs to be done, we have to not just look for the simplest solutions, but must reflect on how do we find the really hard questions. And in this, we must examine every aspect of our work. Are accessible resources available and opportunities that meet our underserved entrepreneurs? Do they provide access to tools and mentors that will help grow our companies and move our cities forward? Are our parks set up to be catalysts for spontaneous interaction where all are welcome? Do these public spaces bring forward the power to collect people and bring them together in all walks of life in a meaningful way? Is our public art in our center cities and in our communities around the world representative of all who engage with them? We know that art helps people bring closer to our spaces and our places, and it tells our community, you belong. Fostering a sense of belonging is critical, but so is moving people around. Do our transit systems work for all? Do our roads, our buses, our bike lanes serve all of the people in our communities and invite all to engage in our economy? At the end of the day, we need to ensure our cities are providing something for everybody. This week is an incredible opportunity for us to come together and share the opportunities and the challenges that we each face and support each other in those efforts. As I said earlier, it's not always easy, and we know that. And I think sometimes when we come together as an organization and as members, we're reminded that while we're out there doing the work in our community, that we actually have a really important community in IDA. So make sure that you really leverage that so that we can continue to move forward boldly and intentionally. In Denver right now, we have the Monet exhibit. And when we think about art, especially Monet, when you get really close to something, you can't always see what the big picture is. But when you step away from a Monet, you really understand his vision. He said, "You have to know how to seize the right moment in a landscape instantaneously. because that particular moment will never come again. And you're always wondering if the impression you got was truthful. I think that ties so much to our work. We must make sure that we look closely, but also step back and constantly seek the truth to create the vision and the art that is our cities. So I welcome all of you to IDA, and I ask that as you craft your visions for your cities, that you also help us craft the future of this organization. We as well have a bold vision that we're building out towards 2025. And we are asking you all to have an important voice in this effort. We need to hear your aspirations. We need to hear your goals, your visions. What do you need from IDA to help you be the most successful professional that you can be? The challenges of our cities that continue to evolve, just as IDA continues to evolve. So we're asking for your engagement. Today, stop by the IDA booth, and there is a strategy wall where you can actually post your input and ideas. And part of IDA doing this is certainly to build this bold vision, but also to remind all of us that we all have a voice in building the future, whether it's the future of our city or the future of this organization.